Hello and welcome. It is the 20th day of May 2019. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk, their own reward. Okay, we got these highs. You have different opportunities to sell, buyback, opportunity here to sell, opportunity amongst all this to sell in here. And then this is going to be going down. Overall, this market has been nothing more then a downtrend, possibly small selling opportunities. But now it's going above the 18 average of highs. It's at 31.64. It was today up to 34.46. The low on May the 14th was in at a little under 2,000. So the market has done about a 60% gain. But if you're trying to buy low, sell high in markets like this, maybe you might be able to come on top. That's okay, but it's still going to be difficult. And you're looking for coins. I'm looking for ones that will go up or go at least sideways. Whether this is still able to do it, I don't know. And also, if you think that these coins are going to be good, well, either to me, it's one of two things with almost practically virtually every one of these coins. Well, they're all oversold or they're all way down, so there's a lot of up room left. And even if, say, for example, you were thinking, okay, this is a good coin as far as where we stand right now at the 3,100 price, because, yeah, this thing could easily fall to like 1,000. Maybe it might, but even if you were to enter now, and that's where it goes, and then our next, the point A low is here, and the point B high comes back here. Well, it's gonna work out. But is it a winning coin? There's a lot of them out there. A lot of them have had big moves. We're going to take a look at a few of them, but let's move on to Bitcoin next. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. And we have Bitcoin right now at that of 11:24 a.m. Eastern Time. About 7,800 US fiat debt notes. Price action has stayed and remained well above the last two, but most importantly, the last key Fibonacci level in what has been a straight up move, basically from even this $4,000 low. The price has pretty much come close or around doubling even from this breakout, and it has done so over the months of April and that of May. There have been corrections along the way. There was this correction through time, April 3rd, basically up until May the 3rd. So the entire month of April in here. For after this move, it was a correctionary play. And then in here, there was this little bit of small correctionary move for this move here from May the 8th up to May the 14th. There were intraday correctionary moves like this, then a 2 day correction. And within yesterday's session, it managed to break out above the 18 average of highs. And when you see that, more times than not, you're going to break out above it. Question is, what kind of resistance are you going to be at? Because this is that spot I really never like too much. You have a high and has a good correction. It goes there fast. Is there going to be resistance? If so, how much? Because you are always fishing if you're buying here that you're buying in high bought areas. If you look at this on a more longer term time frame, but you're also at the point that if this does stop going up, sometimes it's only going to do it for a shorter period of time. So within the session, so far all it's done is come back down to this. So yes, there has been some level of resistance in here, but so far nothing to shake what has been this great setup since the event of about breaking here. But I think I said 77, 78 yesterday on the breakout, which it obviously got above. So now that statement has obviously been played of looking to break out. It's still in that form. When we look at this on a single hour term time frame, this was the move last night. As we can see, it pretty much came back to this previous high, and that was the failed breakout. For it gets above this level of resistance here, gets above the 18 highs after this correctionary move of several hours within the band, and has one quick move above it to the match the high, but then it comes back down really fast. And the first sign that you want to see is it actually hold around 80.78. Basically, this level of resistance, it didn't do it, and it came right back down to where it came from and appears below the 18. Enough for this rising average. Basically, you can almost discount the fact this ever happened. Just a sideways roll over to neutrality kind of mode, and then it starts to hover in within the 18 average of lows. Thus, as it continues on, really showing weakness amongst such, has this breakdown at the 8 a.m. time frame this morning. It completes it sometime between 9 and 10. It completed it and has now just come back to this area for a level of resistance. So most certainly, this move has ran out of steam. Can it regain steam? Well, maybe, but for it to do so, I want to see it do so amongst and above the 18 average. Now, a lot of coins have been delisted recently, like that of eBoost. And this was something that was just going down and down and down. We have 425 grinding its way to 250, then the announcement, and now it's at like 46. I suppose if we take a look at this on a shorter term time frame, there's been some volatility since then. It's went from 28 up to 54, and just what we got for the last hour, maybe a little bit. But if you're able to play these bid-ask spreads, I wouldn't do it, but it's something that's available. In fact, some of these coins you think would be delisted, and maybe they were delisted somewhere else. But Pink Coin, it is extremely cheap right now. It's almost nothing. It's at 20 Satoshi. Back in April, it was in the area of 50. We can see in here, just it's had a recent rally. On May the 16th, it found a low of 18. And within the next 3 days, it managed to go up to 28, gain of 10 on 18. That's about 50 plus percent. But it has already given it all back to the point where it's already pierced below the 18. And in a nasty bear market, seeing this, that's just normal types of many failed rally attempts. But even before this, so for all of 2019, this has been a double Satoshi coin. But before then, if we look back at the end of 2018, this thing was falling from the triple digit mark. And then it had a big fall from over 200 down to triple, like basically 80, as it completed its fall last summer. And if we look back further, it fell from about 160 after it had a high near 350 about 1 year ago, to approximately a year ago, a little over. So it was up to 350, and that was a failed move on the upside, as it had a low here of 216. Now, of course, major failed move up, definitely larger than a failed fast move lower, or a major move lower, however you want to look at it. It's not really fast in time, but big as far as duration down. Here it was 800 at the start of 2018, and then it falls to 218. So 800 now down like what, 40 times its value at times, and even 800 was an area where that was a lower high to back in 2017. It was at 1100, and that was a lower high to, well, I guess back in 2017, all it got up to was about 12 over. So barely. Okay, well, that was bigger. Yeah, of course. So you see how this has consistently been making. This is a market that has went from 3,000. I'm just going to push this button. It's going to fast forward it to where we stand. 3,000 down to 20. So are we at areas? Okay, so let's just put a. We don't even need a line in 20. The red line will stay. What happened before the event? Oh, we're at all-time lows priced in against Big Cow. We're at 2015 lows. So this is basically going to go to nothing soon, or relatively soon, or who knows what kind of rallies it's going to get. But I mean, pink might be your favorite crayon, but is it your favorite crypto? Oh, wow, it's totally been destroyed. But as we look at it, you got the possibility where this thing could gain like 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 times and then go to nothing. But when a coin goes to nothing, how would that look on the Bitcoin Satoshi? What kinds of things would happen after that if it's even going to still try to survive? Well, to me, the obvious is that when you have the books, the orders, the bid ask just change. Right now, you're going to see either 19 and 20 or 20 and 21. But if people sell it down, maybe they'll sell it down to 12. Then it's 12 and 11 or 12 and 13. But if it goes all the way to nothing, then at some point you're going to have what will be a 2 ask and a 1 bid. And these Bitcoin numbers on both sides could start to get pretty large. And therefore, if you want to sell the price, you're going to have to sell it at 1 Satoshi, or you can buy it at 2. And of course, the gamble at buying it at 2 is okay, this thing goes up 1 Satoshi up 50%, it goes up another one, you're up 100%, 150%, 150%. Every time it goes up a basis point, it goes up 50% more, I think. Just crazy. But if the ones get taken out, then how does that work after that? So for example, let's just assume there was 4 BTC, or even 40 Bitcoin worth here. It might not even get that big. And then there was 10 Bitcoin worth here. Well, now someone's like, yeah, I'm going to take all my coins. I'm just going to sell it to nothing. Next thing you know, what happens is you have a 2 bid with 40 units on it. You don't even have a price. So now what the next taker or maker has got to do is either put a buy order or a sell order at one. So if someone puts a buy order, then we're just going to be back to where we go, and the supply is going to start to fill up. But it's going to start be at a low number most likely in the original basis after that. But if somebody puts a sell order in for one, well, now they'd be putting an order from there, and that's going to start off at like 0.09, and then maybe 1.5. And next thing you know, everyone puts sell orders in here. And now you got like 20, 30, 40, 50 Bitcoin at one Satoshi. People just trying to get something because now you can't even sell it because wouldn't be any bids when we're at the one number up here and then nothing there. So what would happen after that is you would notice things like on the Doji exchange or the Litecoin exchange. Well, especially the Litecoin exchange. Let's just assume at the time Litecoin's got a 100 to 1 ratio with Bitcoin. So you might see on there on the Litecoin exchange somewhere, oh, it's 58 and say 52 spread. So someone's trying to sell at 58 Litecoin Satoshi and buy at 52, which means it's less than 1 Bitcoin Satoshi. And then when this gets exhausted, well, then now you go into the Doji market, I guess. Now let's move on to Bitcoin, not Bitcoin Cash, OK Cash, probably because of the name at the end. Move on to OK Cash, which at one point was a lot higher as well, and it's been getting its ass kicked. As far as its current setup, it had an interesting move going from what has been 200 Satoshi, a little north of that, to over 500, pulled back for a few days at the 400 area, has now since within today's section made close to 600 now and at 500. And if you're starting the game any point within this level, you should be up. In fact, I don't know how you couldn't be. If you started buying here at 542, there's enough buys and sells. Even if you started here at 738 in August of last year, there's a good chance that you might be up. Let's take a look at this on the weekly term. This at one point was 20,000, and then it went down to 27, and then it went up to 81, and down to 23, and so on and so forth. But if you were up here buying at 2,300, I don't know how you can be up. If you were buying here when it was at like 4,400 in here and they started 2018, I don't know how you can be up. If you started back in, say, June of 2017 as it was breaking over 2,800, you're up nice. And you should have already locked in all your profits, so no matter what happens, you can't lose. But you are down over the last many months. You're down over the last couple of years. You're up over the last many months. I guess that'd be one of the ways of putting it. So now as we're in the 498 range, where does this react to where we were before? Well, it did find support here at 6. Its low prices here were at 60. Same sort of deal as all these other ones. It's either working its way to nothing or it's damn cheap and there's a lot of returns available. Risk versus reward strategy. And like any market shitty coin, any coin ready to go to nothing, there's going to be always these attempts to try to get it. But whenever it fails, it's already having a somewhat of an attempt here on the weekly. And it showed weakness here on the 18, but it didn't do much on this play. So, okay, so either the failed weakness here is going to spark maybe something of a rally, maybe bring this into 1,200, 1,600 or more, which should be really good profits at this stage moving forward. And maybe even might have even a small little bit of rally here. Like, can this go up to like 7, 8, 9? But a lot of these bear markets will have those failed moves. So you see it comes in down towards here. It could be ready for the oblivion. But every coin has been pretty much going down against Bitcoin for the since the 2018 highs. This one was just an extreme pullback. A lot of coins since the start of this year have been doing much better. And again, looking back, start of the year, This thing ended the year at a close of 446, so it's up for the year. Therefore, yeah, maybe, maybe not, but what's you have to understand if this thing goes to nothing, you kind of almost got to laugh it off. That's the way I play coins of this nature because I got TTC that I'm playing just because it's something I can either laugh it off if I lose. But if I make a gain on it, I mean, wow, I mean, as long as this has a 14% chance of doing good, I'm gonna have extremely good risk reward management profitability on my side because making 7, 10, 20, 30x gains, if it does well, that's in order. So in order. That's not an order. That's in order if it happens. But if I can make orders for it to happen, like I'm some sort of sergeant or lieutenant, then I could. But to think you're smarter than the market in any position you're in right now, not even maybe. So then, if it does it, it works out. You see price action. Oh, it goes up to like say 38,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000. Oh, okay. So now that I'm 7,000, there's no way I can mathematically lose anymore. Not even maybe. And that's how I'll play these types of coins that I have absolutely no idea on how they're going to react. It's been going straight down like a lot of them have, but they're going to have massive gains at times as well. At least they're most certainly suitable for such. Because you can talk about point A high, point B low. That's what happens. This was a high. Right now, this is the low. And as far as that 725 number, I'm not buying that. I'm buying closer to down in here. I've all moved that in ages ago. And I was even moving it down back in here. I think I bought somewhere last at around like 1100. So I'll buy it like 600, sell it about like 9,000. Like look for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% moves. None of this 20, 30% stuff that I reserve for a lot of other markets that need more care, more attention, and are worth a lot more as far as the what I put up towards. Because Bitcoin Cash, it's down today. It's one that I've added towards. I talked about that last night. It was a long video. So is this, almost 20 minutes now. It's in at $400 US. I was purchasing it a little over the four number. It's rallied a bit from today's intraday's level. Well, I was just looking. I looked at it earlier in here and I was like, oh, it's like 380. So I was looking at it at the low earlier, the last time I seen it. Against Bitcoin, it's got an amazing pattern. I think anyway. Looking at it via the hourly time frame, this is that big line in or around that area basically. I think it might have been the original high of, but whatever. Hanging in within it, but when we look at it on the daily chart, it has had ever since it first reached that point on May the 1st, or for the entire month of May now, just completing its third week. It has had constant amount of resistance tests, and it has done pretty good on its pullback. It's had one decent pullback. It did so in the middle of this on May the 7th for a few days and got back quickly. But it keeps on making nice higher type of lows, and the more often you test key levels of support resistance, the more likely it is you take it out. And don't be surprised when stuff like that happens that you have very large, high volatile moves like we've seen these 2 days in April type of plays where, oh my goodness, this thing at least would go up quickly, I would think, to about the 62, 63 handle. And who knows if it's able to quickly just make nice, even like green candles that break by that, which on the weekly chart would mean testing in maybe the 80 or the maybe a fast move like a 2 3 day move to even the 11 12 handle go up like double against Bitcoin. Things like that are so live, especially when you look at this on the weekly chart. I like how after band flattening out, it makes this comes up and establishes level of resistance. It's come back to the band, and really for the last 3 or so weeks, it's showing a lot of strength amongst the 18 average of highs, amongst that key level of resistance, which is coinciding with the 18 highs on this time frame. That yeah, seeing it break above this, leaving the 18 average, just a phenomenal move. I'm even thinking, do I even make another smaller play? Do I actually pair this up with something else? I've been thinking that for the last day. If you can think of a coin, and I'm just trying to think right now, I would prefer Binance, big time, big time, to have a cross with this. Even though I can trade this on Poloniex, I can trade this on Bittrex, you can trade this everywhere. Everywhere it's 0.001 to withdraw. That's but a little under 50 cents. Okay, not much. from the exchanges. It's like a penny from your Trezor or Nano wallet, which is amazing. But throwing that part aside, confirmations. It's like 14 confirmations or 12 confirmations, I think, on Poloniex. I think it's 14 confirmations on Bittrex. Either way, they're around a dozen each. And it's either one or two on Binance. That is really a big deal. I mean, I'll take it. I'll live with it if I have to wait an hour and a half or two on times. I can still easily make do and get great ROIs on that as well. But I would prefer to be able to have one confirmation. Okay, put my funds in. Yeah, let's wait for like 6, 7 minutes. Come back. Okay, let's make the trade. That those types of availabilities are amazing. So for me, I'm looking for coins. If you have any ideas, I would really love hearing them. I would like to hear coins that and GRS I could just quickly throw into it, but I don't want to buy more of that. I've already got enough of that. And I thought about maybe splitting up my theta for it, but or even I mean I guess no. The problem with theta, I want to show you something here on theta. I mean I've already showed it before. I'm going to show it again. When I go to my wallet, which is easy to log into, when you start this, you register. There's a thing to create a wallet. You get the file you download. You have you insert a password, and most importantly you have your words set for your private keys. So I'm going to put in the key store file in. I'm going to paste in my password, and then unlock my wallet. So 4 days ago, I sent in 100 theta from Binance to here, just as a test run, and that's why you do test runs here. So I got 100 theta and zero T fuel, zero, none, not a one, and that's kind of important, unfortunately. Maybe fortunately in time because well, they did a little fork or whatever thing where they gave you free coins, they gave you free T fuels, and okay, so be it. Then they came on the market. They're still worth points or 7/10 of a penny, and they gave you five for every theta you had, so they're worth 3.5 cents per theta that you own, at least at that day when you had it. And they came on Binance. They're there, and if they were there, well, why wouldn't I put my T fuel in? But it's because well, ever since the hack on Cryptopia, or not on Cryptopia, ever since the hack on Binance, which the resumption of their wallets, they still have the withdrawal suspended for T Fuel on there. And if I want to send coins off here, these 100 theta right now are hijacked. They are absolutely useless on this site. Because if I'm to send funds, it sends here. It says here the transaction fee is 0.12345 5 zeros 1 fuel T fuel, which is absolutely nothing. And that's something I want to have. Where okay, this is magnificent. Now I can be able to send points for like absolutely hardly anything. Like it might take 50, 60, 80, 90 transactions, even more, just for me to pay a penny in fees. That's spectacular. But that means I have to have T Fuel on here. And once I'm able to get them on there and the Binance lets me, once it takes that suspended off, and it's been like that for days now, I haven't been able, 4 days at least, obviously, I can't put my T Fuel here. But once I can, I will. And then this is a great spot. But for every coin that I have, I want a coin that's got decent enough volatility, especially with Bitcoin Cash not having great volatility. So I need at least one with awesome, and that's what I got to find. Some sort of awesome coin on there of volatility that is probably not going to go down long term, is at least going to go sideways, but preferably go up. Is good on the blockchain for not costing much to withdraw off of either the blockchain or definitely from the exchange. And is at least for sending to the exchange, which is usually the slowest of the bunch anyway, is not too fat. It's not too slow, so it's fast enough. I was offered the idea of Chainlink, which is a coin I love, and everything about that's magnificent, except for the fact that it's 1.6 withdrawal fee for a coin that is worth like a dollar or a little over a dollar. And that's going to probably go up to 5, 10, 20. So now you could be talking about $30 fees. But interestingly, with Theta, before the fork happened, it cost 28 Theta to, or 20. It was 22 or 28. I think it was 28 even. It was 28 Theta of a withdrawal fee on Binance to get those coins off the market, which was an expensive price. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I getting into this for? I can't just keep on moving funds back and forth for here and there for just small amounts, even. That's just, I don't want to pay 1, 2, 3% just to withdraw. Not even maybe, no. And then what happened was you had that fork, all the Theta wallets were offline. And then I noticed that the withdrawal fee was 0.01 now. Okay, well, that changes everything. Only costing zero point zero 0.01 Theta to withdraw. And then in time, the T fuels were available for quite some time. Because what I was doing was I was checking gate.io. And I guess I still am because here it is. This is the. So here's March. This is this T fuel going up to 4 cents, falling down to 1.9, and then 1.6, and then 1.2, and then 8/7 of a penny. Now it's at 7.35 after being down to about looks like about 0.006. So there's a market for it. And I was thinking, do I send some funds here? I mean, I I want to wait for Binance to put this on the exchange because I think if it happens, this thing is just going to have a good soar. It's going to have a nice gain, and I don't want to miss out on that. The amount of gain that I get, it's okay. I mean, considering what it was worth given the price of Theta, you're getting again 5 times. So per Theta, if you multiply that by 5, you're talking about like 3.7 cents per Theta that you own then. So that's a pretty good percentage based on what the price of Theta was and is. And in that, I'm thinking, do I do it? Now, I have to do the KYC, know your document. I've done that with many other sites. And I'm okay with that, but I was thinking that's just another demotivator for me not to do it. So therefore, I'm just going to keep on waiting. This will still be on the grasp. As far as trading Theta is concerned, once I can get those T fuel, once I can trade it there, I can pretty much move 80% of. I have 80% of my Theta in this wallet, and 20% on the Binance exchange because I'm going to want that for a sell order. And I don't know how long it's going to take for me to move the Theta over. But there's some coins, even if they're fast to send, you got to have sell orders. Because when these markets go up and down so fast, and Theta has shown to do that already, then I kind of want to have sell orders ready to go. I don't want to go to bed, see that the market went up like double, and then came back, and not have sell orders. Because that happened, I think it was November 30th. Theta went way up, it tripled, and then came right back down, and it gave back most of its gains intraday, and then all of it within the next several other days after that. So that will conclude this video, which is now a half an hour long, of course. Um, I hope this helped. But yeah, I'm looking for something that easy to move on the exchange, easy for fees, got good volatility, good market to buy and sell. Although, you know what, sometimes if it's got a very bad bid ask price, and Binance doesn't have those problems usually, I can play around with the order book, but I still would rather just like Litecoin and DGB, Bitcoin Cash, market price, take it, play it, and just move on. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.